Hello everybody, welcome to the Weighted to Win second race preview. Good to have you all with us. Couple of things that we want to talk to you about this morning. Our social media firstly. There's the reminder about our Weighted to Win that's our handle that you have to use, at Weighted to Win. And we've also got our WhatsApp groups as well that you can join at any given time. Just send your name and your email address so we can add you on there. All right, so, well, it wasn't bad in terms of the week, I got to say. We're looking forward to today's racing. This being recorded Friday morning, but in terms of the week, I must say they got the jackpot for just 40 Rand. Have a look at this. Very well done. A very clever play too, so I hope you guys followed. This was what happened on Turf and Teen in the week, and there's a 40 Rand cost. And there, for 40 Rand, they got back 1,125. Well done to Daryl Marie for working that out. Second, we'll get straight into the action, the start of the bipot. Darren and Darren Burrows' birthday today. Happy birthday, Darren.
Thank you, Clyde. I'm 37 today, and I've been punting since the age of 5, so that's 32 years of punting.
That's fantastic.
Starting in race 2, this horse Hold My Hand was the most unluckiest of losers last time out. They went a crawl, they went so slow, and Silver Lynx got first run on her, and she was closing the gap fast. Obviously, Silver Lynx is a maturing filly. She's only getting better with racing, so you can't discount her, but I'm favouring Hold My Hand, and Gold Poker Game is not out of it. This filly has ability. So 8, 4, and 9 for me.
Okay, so the top three in the market, 4, 8, and 9. You heard Darren, he's been punting since the age of 5. Imagine if you've started saving from the age of 5. What would you be?
I've been punting from the age of 7.
So well, your boy started young, huh? I only started punting at 16, to be quite honest, but that's the truth, although we followed racing our whole lives. All right, well, so we know what Darren likes in the second.
Yeah.
Yours, what's the story?
Clyde, I find this race very tricky because all depends on the pace. Like Darren touched on last time out, Silver Lynx got it all her own way. Will she get that this time around? I don't know. Hold My Hand. This filly worries me because I've seen her move down to the start very short. So follow her down on the way to the post and make up your mind. Gold Poker Game certainly not without a chance. If you give her a chance, number 7 has to come to this race. Love is a Rose. And even number 5, Clyde, Broadway Girl. Would you be shocked to see her concerned in the finish? No. So very tricky event to the first leg of the bipot.
Okay, well, let's put that. Somebody mentioned the other horse that you liked, Sarkio.
Yes,
Did you give that a chance?
Thrown in the deep end of a year, Clyde, but she's an improving source.
Okay. Well, it was actually Molly, now that I recall. Molly mentioned it to me. All right, let's put it up. And this is what the bipot looks like: 4, 5, 7, 8, and 9 by banker number 1 in the following leg for Daryl Marie, Captain's Ransom. Then we're going to banker the 4, that being in the next leg, number 4, Kalami Girl, and then a good few runners thereafter. It's a 600 Rand bipot. So we're looking forward to see Captain's Ransom in action on Friday morning. Captain's Ransom was priced up at 227, so in between 1 to 3 and 1 to 4, and she looks hard to beat in a race like this. This, of course, being the Prix du Cap, now sponsored by Splash Art. And Darren, a one-horse race, I'd imagine.
Definitely, Clyde. I wish it was part of the pick 6, but I don't know what to say. You can't really have a bet at that price. But she should take a power of beating. Her form over 1,400 is impeccable. So Captain's Ransom to win and anything for second.
Or is Barcy and Suzette going to Cape Town, do you know?
Clyde,
you've spoken to them.
This could possibly be the last time we see her. So
Captain's Ransom?
Yes.
But what about Suzette?
No, she'll be around for many years.
Now, of course, I mean, is she going to Cape Town? Do you know if she's going to Cape Town?
I don't know.
If Barcy's going to Cape Town, okay.
Probably, because this may be her swan song. So
yeah,
we're all behind her, and she'll go out on a high.
She's top class, huh?
Yes, especially at this distance, Clyde.
Yes.
I think one could argue 1,200 and 1,400. She's close to unbeatable in her class. So we'll be shouting her home, and she'll get the job done for us.
Is there an exact horse? One in particular?
Nothing in particular.
Nothing. Okay. Well, let's put it up. We've got obviously it's the start of the PA, so that means we've got a PA worked out from Daryl's side where he is bankering, as I'm sure everyone else will be. Captain's Ransom #1 by Kailami Girl with horses and in the last two legs of the place accumulator, we're going to banker the 2, and that being Charles Dickens today, and #4, Give Me a Prince at the back. Bloodstock South Africa Sales Cup Fillies over 1,200 metres as the running of race #4 on the card, and this being the first leg of the pick six, an exciting pick six too, because I would imagine there are a couple in here that you can consider bankering. Darren will tell us a bit more about it, but before we talk about the whole pick six, let's talk about this particular race, Darren, where Kailami Girl, I know from Daryl's side he's made it hard to beat. What do you think?
Yes, Clyde, the juvenile races, we saw on Met Day a bomb result at 33-1 in the juvenile race where there was an even money shot. I get very nervous with the juveniles because they've only had 1, 2, or 3 runs. So I have played the safe route. The obvious horse is Kailami Girl on that cracking debut. She did get beat by Sidley. Now, Sidley on debut ran 6 lengths behind the Charleston. Now, the Charleston is number 12 on the card, but I see Aldo has opted to ride the 4. Golden Sickle's got to come into the race with a chance. And don't discount Alan Greef's runner, Luna Halo. I was very impressed with her debut win.
Okay, very interesting. So there could be a couple. I know that you focused originally, well, your other perms on Kailami. Any sort of reservation, or because Darren does, it is a juvenile race, so he's worried about perhaps more improvement to come from other horses.
Absolutely, Clyde. That's the thing. If you don't bank a Kailami, I think you have to put in several. What's actually happening at Kailami today, Clyde?
There's activity. There's quite a bit of activity going on at the track. So yeah,
something 9 hour something. The marquees are up.
That's right. Yeah. Well, we'll hear them around us.
I'll tell you something, Clyde. This filly, when she moved to the start in her canter past on debut, I said, wow, she looked absolutely outstanding. And why I'm bankering her, Clyde, is have a look at the time she recorded on debut. Now, there were 4 sprints over the same distance that day. And listen to this now, Clyde. So, except Temptation won on the same day,
yeah,
she would have beaten him by 4.7 lengths.
Okay.
She would have beaten Kabono Lesedi, who he labelled, by 4.8 lengths. And then Outlaw King, also a debut winner on that occasion, she would have beaten by 5.5 lengths. So that time is outstanding. And if she's just built on that effort or reproduces a similar effort, I think she'll go very close to winning. If you're looking past her, I don't know what else to say, Clive.
Well, there may be a few.
Taking my chances.
There may be a few. Okay, well, we understand that. If that time is that superb, then perhaps Kailami Girl is the right horse in the race. Let's take a look at Darren's pick six. He's worked that out for us. So he has gone to try and roll this over. You're worried about it being a juvenile race, of course. And naturally, the last 2 legs, whilst you guys dot that down or snap away, at the end of the day, he's bankering Charles Dickens and the last one, Give Me a Prince. I think most people are going to be doing much the same. On to race number 5. This is the Bloodstock SA Sales Cup for the boys this time. It's over 1,200 metres. We've got some information on our Twitter handle for you at Waiter to Win, or on the WhatsApp group. There's the telephone number for you to jot down. All right, well, let's talk about this. Again, we'll come back to this being a juvenile race. From a market perspective, let me bring you up to speed when this was being recorded on Friday. That Speeding Bullets top of the boards at 7-2, joined with Outlaw King 7-2, number 10. 3, Accept Temptation 6-1, 4, Zumi 6-1. 10-1 about number 15 on the card. That's Press On Regardless. And the 13 War Launch, I've heard this, that the Cotsons like this, Sharon Cotson, 12-1, and some of the guys from Joburg, Glenn, and all of his family are going to Cape Town to watch this horse. They tell me win. What do you think, Darren?
Not for me, Clyde. This is a tough race. You know who impressed me on debut was Outlaw King. He won with a ton in hand, and I think he'll come on from that run. Accept Temptation. When he won, I thought that was a very strong juvenile race. I think that form line's going to stand up really well. So those were my two leading lights. Speeding Bullet has to go in. I've loaded, hoping for a result.
Yeah, I see you have done that, and there's some potentially very nice horses in here in this Bloodstock South African race. What do you think?
Yes, Clyde. Exciting race. I think you have to go wide because it's certainly not cut and dry. Have a look at Speeding Bullet. Now, on a line through, press on regardless. He should have the beating of Accept Temptation. But you know, they improve at different rates. And he's been gelded, so he could have come on lens himself. That's number 7, Speeding Bullet. Zumi and Outlaw King, not much separates in the two of them. I think both have to go into all perms. And I found a little bit of a sneaker here, Clyde. I know many are going to say I'm smoking something, but this was number 12, Pompeii Warning. His penultimate start, he actually put in a cracking effort. He was disqualified on that occasion. But he's been gelded now, and the blinkers have been removed.
All right.
Don't be surprised to see him run into the money at a big, big price.
Yeah, I see 40 to 1, 6 to 1 a place, something like that. Number 12, Pompeii Warning, was an open race. That's what we've basically made of what the guys have had to say. Yeah, so this is the plan in terms of what we want to do. What have we got for you? We've got a jackpot from Daryl, where he's gone 3, 4, 7, 10, 12, 1, 2, 9, 10, 2, 4, 7, 10, 11, 15, and banker number 2, the big horse, Charles Dickens. Race number 6. This is the City of Cape Town, Cape of Good Hope Nursery. It's a Group 3. It's over 1,200 metres. In the race on Friday morning, top of the boards, number 10 on the card, Gimme Lightning, trading at 2 to 1. Second choice, Winter Cloud, 6 to 1. Number 2, The Abdicator, 6 to 1. And 13 to 2, about number 9 on the card, Distant Winter. And then also the 11, also priced up 13 to 2. I was listening to Justin Snaith, Darren. He was talking, I think it was in the course when they raced in the week, to Vicky Minor, and he was saying to her that watch them on this weekend, this Saturday. They're bringing the whole, just about the whole stable out. They've put a lot of work into it the last 3 weeks. Tell me about this favourite.
This horse was super impressive. He lost ground on debut, and he must have been lengths off the pace. And he absolutely took off to beat Icy Blast. And last time out, he also came under pressure at the 400. He took time to unwind, and he flew up late for second. So the 1,200 meters is going to be right up his alley. I've gone the field in the pick 6, being a juvenile race. There's horses like the Abdicator, who was the talk of the town last time out after that special debut win, and he just went backwards at the 300. He was under pressure. So let's see if he could bounce back to best. I thought very tricky if you look past Gimme Lightning.
Okay, Gimme Lightning or the field or what?
Yeah, Gimme Lightning. I mean, Darren's touched on exactly what I've seen in his 2 starts. Clyde, the Abdicator, he's back to prove himself now, to show if he's as good as what we think he is. And then the 2 fillies, Clyde, I've got a healthy respect for them. Obviously, Aldo Dome has taken the ride on the 9, which is Distant Winter. Very impressive in her 2 starts to date. But I like the look of number 1 over here, Winter Cloud. You'd expect Distant Winter to reverse that form if Aldo's chosen her. But
Correct.
I've been very impressed with Winter Cloud. I thought she had the race won a long way out last time out. If she can just get a nice lead from the Abdicator, she'll be doing her best work later, and I wouldn't be surprised to see her win this event. So I've gone 4 runners over here, Clyde.
Yeah, she won very impressively, Winter Cloud, but it's Daryl's right. Aldo's taken the ride on Distant Winter. So it's an interesting decision, and see how this all plays out. But do they all have this favourite to beat? Let's work out what the boys have done here for us now. Race number 6, we're going with exactas, and we're including all of Winter Cloud, which is the 1, the 2, the Abdicator, the 9, Distant Winter, and the 10, Gimme Lightning. Race 7 is the Jetmaster, and this particular event over the mile, it's always been a very good race. And here we've got Silvano's Dash at top of the board, just priced up at 5 to 1, joints with a horse like Al Mutana. Lots of you, many of you, in fact, perhaps all of you will know Al Mutana is nowadays. And a horse like number 7, Warrior's got to have a claim. But it's one of those races, Darren, that I guess there are a number of them that can win.
Yes, Clyde, this is probably the strongest listed race you'll find because some of these horses will perform at the highest level. Al Mutana, not the most consistent horse, but on his day, over a mile from a two draw, best weighted, even with 62 kilos, he could go close. Pakaya, 51 kilos. He's had the one comeback run behind Silvano's Dasher. Emilenzi Yokoduduma interests me a lot. He's around 8-1 in the betting. He's best over a mile. And second behind Silvano's Dasher last time out. That was a 14, staying on well. And then touching on Silvano's Dasher, he's a serious racehorse. He's yet to prove himself beyond 1400 meters, and he jumps from a 13 draw. There are others to include Warrior, Universal, and more.
Okay. There are a few serious racehorses in here at the end of the day that can pull this off.
Yes, Clyde, horse like Warrior, I've always believed this horse is a miler. So I'm very keen to see how it goes. I think he's got a lot in his favour.
Mhm.
Al Mutana, I mean, he's a miler of note, Clyde. We saw that in the King's Plate. He comes into this race lunging. If you like his chances, have a look at number 11, Gem King. He's
Yep.
7.5 kilograms better off, Clyde. And this horse, track and trip suited. So he's a nice inclusion into all exotics. Race certainly doesn't stop over there. Quasi for sure, number 15. 51 kilograms to
Yeah.
shoulder. He's 5.5 kilograms better off with Silvano's Dasher, and he was in need of that start.
Yeah.
If he gets a lot of luck in running, I could see him notching up another victory. But the race doesn't even stop there, Clyde.
Yeah, it doesn't, because a horse like, I mean, I know Zapatellis has been out of it, so to speak, in that he's coming out of the Met and all of that sort of stuff. But I know they rated him. He's lost a handful of starts or 3 starts, whatever the case may be. Perhaps not much to write home about. But could a horse like that perhaps pop up?
Absolutely.
He
I mean,
could.
he's second best weighted of here. He's just
Yeah.
not at his best. I don't know if
Yeah.
he needs to be gelded or
What's going on there?
But,
I see
but
16-1.
I wouldn't be shocked.
You wouldn't be shocked. All right, guys, open. Here we go. We've got a jackpot for you. A second jackpot worked out for you. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Those are the legs that we need to complete. And here in race 7, we're going the field by banker 2, by banker 4, and then 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 at the back. Welcome back. Time now for the Splash Pool Cape Derby, race number 8 on the card, and this is where the big horse Charles Dickens runs. Lovely horse. He really is a lovely horse, and he's proven to all of us just how good he is. And Darren, I know he's your banker, but I know you've also got a little bit of respect for Rock Pool. You've told me this is also top class.
Yes, I do have respect for Rockpool, but he still has a lot of work to do to beat a horse like Charles Dickens. A lot of people are questioning the 2,000 meters. If he settles and he doesn't over race slightly, he will see it out no problem. His full brother Charles ran second in the Cape Derby over 2,000 meters, and he ran second in the Track and Bull Derby over 2,400 meters. So there is a lot of stamina in the pedigree on the dam line. I think he'll take a power of beating. That second in the King's Plate was a cracking effort. A lot of people say disappointing, but you got to think he beat home Jet Dark and Comedy Dung in that race as a 3-year-old. Rockpool to chase him home.
Yeah, don't forget that. He did beat Jet Dark, and he did beat Comedy Dung. That's quite right. He put them in their place, so to speak, on that occasion. But they're going to go the pace. Yeah. There's going to be a solid pace. I don't think Justin Snape's putting 6 horses in here because they want to have an afternoon snooze. They're going to set a solid pace. And if Charles should stay, based on what we heard from the pedigree from Darren, right? So he should stay. But fast pace, if there's any doubt, that is what may bring Rockpool any closer.
Yeah, Clyde, I'm not too concerned. I mean, Aldo's got a very calm head on his shoulders. He's a very tactical rider, and he won't get fussed. He'll ride his own race, and he'll produce the source at the right time.
Yeah.
Like Darren touched. I mean, he beat Jet Dark, and he beat Comedy Dung. They ran first and second in the WSB Met. Aldo got off him last time out. He said he didn't feel himself because that race was too soon to his penultimate start. And for him to run to that level, not feeling himself.
Yeah.
It just tells you how
League's
special
ahead.
this horse is. So it's going to be a cracking race to watch. And I'm not going out there and say get stuck in at the 3 to 10, but just pull home this champion.
Pull home the champion. Charles Dickens, the right horse in the race. Here's a look at the all to come that has been put together, where it's Charles Dickens. The next one also looks very hard to beat. Give Me a Prince. Give Me a Prince, the right horse. He's priced up at 14 to 10. He looks very hard to beat. Darren, let's talk about the race, because for me, on paper, he looks an absolute certainty. Is there something else that could run him over, or are you on the same page?
No, I'm very confident, Clyde. Give Me a Prince, probably one of the best sprinters I've seen in a long time. Last time out, when Rio Karari moved alongside him, I thought he was going to go on past. And then Keegan just gave him a backhand, and he changed legs late and found another gear. Now, the 1,000, you got to say, was on the sharp side. So for him to win the Cape Flying Championship just shows what a quality horse he is. He's going to appreciate the 1,200-meter trip. And then touching on Rio Karari, he is 2 kilos better off at the weights on that last start, and he improved with the blinkers. And we do know how good Rio Karari is on his day, but surely Give Me a Prince is going to prove how good he is.
That's what I thought the same, that he'd be very hard to beat. Yeah, you've picked this horse up. I mean, you labelled him a long time ago. You said he'll be a top horse, and he's turned out that way. Anything worry you at all?
I'll tell you what worries me over here, Clyde. I looked at the pace around him, and there's not really one that's going to tow him through. There's no sprint over here that wears his heart on his sleeve and goes from the jump. He's run alongside Trip to Fortune, Cartel Captain, Bereaved Gladiatorian. None of them are lightning fast in the early stages, and he's the type of horse that needs that early cover. But looking towards the outside, I don't see much pace towards the outside. Early pace, that is.
So can he go?
I don't know what's going to happen in this race.
Yeah.
He just needs luck in running, Clyde, and I expect him to win, because we saw in his later start when Rio Karari moved up to him, Darren spot on, he found another gear. And with that extra distance in his favour,
Okay.
I really find it hard to believe that Rio Karari is going to reverse it.
All right, I did not that I needed much persuading, or you, I guess, didn't need too much either, but I think that says it all. Give Me a Prince, hard to beat here. The 9th race, that's our play on Friday morning. This horse was priced up at 14 to 10. 10th and final. This is a maiden class field. It's the Kaya Stables Work Riders and Jockeys Championship. So the work riders take on the qualified riders in this particular event over 1,200 metres. In this race, they've got the market as follows. 13 to 10, about 5 Hawk Circle. Number 6, Mighty Mark, is priced up at 18 to 10. So the 2 qualified riders, as in Aldo de Mea and Keegan de Mello, they have the 2 best rides according to the betting anyway. And then you've got 8 to 1 bar those 2, Darren. Let's talk about it, Darren, over 1,200. It's the last of the afternoon. Who are you with? Jockey, work rider, where are you going?
Well, Clyde, I narrowed the race down to 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7. I do believe that Daryl has found a bit of a shrewdie here at a decent price called Run For Me. This horse, the dam line is very speedy, and they tried this horse over further, and I think the drop back to 1,200 is going to be ideal. So don't exclude Run For Me. Others to consider, Hawk Circle. He's a horse looking for further, but he will be flying up late. Mighty Mac was right behind him last time out, so nothing separating 5 and 6. And then of the rest, Aspect and Captain Casanova. But let's see how Run For Me goes.
Okay, well, that is Daryl Schroeder. You're quite right. He was telling us just before we came on air now about this horse Run For Me. And you were concerned, what, about the betting or something?
Firstly, let's touch on Hawk Circle and Mighty Mac. Clyde, I saw Mighty Mac move to the start last time out in the Canter Past. I thought he looked outstanding. He's actually a very nice horse. Hawk Circle, he improved when he came back in trip with the blinkers.
Yeah.
Not much separating the two of them. But Clyde, this is a work rider and jockey event. You've got the top jockey in Richard Ferree on a 25 to 1 shot. I don't know who priced this horse up at 25. It's way overpriced, and I'll tell you why, Clyde.
Yeah.
Firstly,
because he's the top jockey in Cape Town.
Okay, secondly, last time out over a mile, you can put a line through that. He was over racing terribly, much
Right.
better than effort.
Right.
Penultimate start, he was drawn 11 out of 12 around the bend, never in contention. Back up the straight, Clyde. Have a look. 3 runs back, he ran to William Rufus. He's won
Yes.
again.
Yes.
Bardolino's done extremely well since he's exited the maiden ranks. He's actually a nice horse. Yeah, you got Richard Free riding for Ricky Mangard. Up the straight, this horse is going to be ideally course and distance suited. And at 25 to 1, he's way overpriced. I think he'll trade in the region of 6, 7 to 1.
Okay. Well, he's 25 to 1 now, right? As we agreed. And I just want to quick check. 7 to 2 a place, 3.5 to 1 a place. That's
How much can you
probably
get on,
the right.
Clyde?
Let's use him in a floating banker or something.
No, fire the 72 places. Can you get us on right now? What's your limits?
God, I don't. No more. Okay, but 7 to 2 a place about the source that is 25 to 1 at the moment to win, called Run For Me. Richard Farise on is Daryl Marie Shrudy in the very last race.